hello everyone. This is Shunta Toimatsu from Temdec, Kyushu University Hospital, Japan. Welcome to the SAKURA Science Exchange Program, technical support for the application of teleconference to medical institutions under COVID-19 pandemic. And today is the day 3, and we will have an institutional update. Okay, again, let me talk about this program. The topic of this program is the teleconference applied to medical institutions, and the purpose is to share the knowledge and the skills. Also, we will discuss difficulties and solutions for this kind of teleconference applied to medical institutions. And this is the outline of the full exchange program. But today, we will have a second day of institutional update. And this is a timetable of today's program. First, we will invite the keynote speech. Then the second institutional update will be held. In this time, the chair is Mr. Alvin from ASTI and also Mr. Tin from Vinaren, Vietnam. And in this time, we will have a presentation from Nepal, Philippines, and Vietnam. Okay, so first, we will have a keynote speech. In this time, we invite the Professor Nobukazu Nakasato from Tohoku University. Actually, he is one of the pioneer of the telemedicine activity in Japan. And personally, I'm quite interested in listening his speech. The title is telemedicine first in comprehensive epilepsy care? Okay, yes. So, Professor Nakasato, please.
Okay, hello everyone. Very nice to see you. I'm very much honored to give a lecture for all of you here today. I'm not a system engineer, the end user of telemedicine, but I've been using telemedicine for about 10 years since after big tsunami disaster. Not only COVID-19, I think the telemedicine is a very powerful tool of the healthcare, so that maybe I can give you some hints for your future research and clinical work. So let me share my slide first. And here we go. Conclusion of my talk is, of course, telemedicine should be first in my epilepsy care. And first of all, I need to tell you what is epilepsy. It's a very diverse disease, not only big seizures, but from at the beginning, I would like to show you a kind of a typical big seizures, what you believe this is epilepsy. Of course, I will explain much more smaller seizures, but first of all. Okay, it starts now. Loss of consciousness. Patient doesn't remember anything at all. Actually, this is actor, not the real patients. No. This is take 10. I repeated again and again and again, and finally, yeah, it's a very good actor. All right, it usually lasts 2 or 3 minutes only, big seizures. But Epilepsy Patient Society says that this is just a seizure, this is just an attack, and then keep calm. Not so much serious. We don't need to call ambulance sometimes. But unfortunately, if you see this type of seizures, you take it seriously, so that many patients lose their jobs, or some students cannot go to school tour or swimming. It's too much. I think even with such kind of big seizures, patient can be happy. Of course, we have a treatment options. Another seizure is is much more important because this is the most frequent types of epileptic seizures, more small one. Impaired awareness with some automatic movement. Here you go.
美味しいんだってどこそこのなんとかっていうところで買ってきたんだってお母さん覚えてないわよ。それで
Now it's a loss of consciousness. Even if it lasts 3 minutes, patient doesn't remember anything at all. Just a faint sensation only. Okay, now the left hand automatic movement, and then also oral lip smacking will start.
まさくん。まさくんわかる？
The patient doesn't remember anything at all,
まさくん。
even if it lasts 2 or 3 minutes.
まさくん。まさくんわかる？まさくん。まさくん。
So this is very long. It usually lasts 3 minutes. I stop it. But have you ever seen this type of epilepsy seizure? Many neurological doctors know it, but they are too busy to take history, so that they often overlook history taking of this type of seizures. That's why many traffic accidents, falling off, serious fire, the heat injuries, sad stories happen due to little information about this type of seizures. That's why I make these video clips. Not only Japanese version, I think 27 copies of CDs, also Indonesian version, Taiwanese version, English versions are distributed all over the world. So what is epilepsy? It's a neurological conditions characterized by recurrent, repetitive seizures. It's due to brief disturbance of the brain, and then it's an electrical excitation, not the ischemic attack. It's an excitation. And epilepsy can happen at any age, not only babies, little children, or the aged persons. Even if you are healthy right now, you may have epilepsy tomorrow, okay? And then population is about, prevalence rate is about 1%. So 1 of 100 population has epilepsy. Causes are lots of causes, not only genetics. Genetics is a very small amount. Injuries, serious infections, stroke, and then some are unknown. But it's not a contagious disease. You can shake hands, you can even kiss, and then nothing is going to happen, okay? Unfortunately, the left hand, 80% of epilepsy patients live in low-income countries or middle-income countries. And then 75%, 3/4 of patients do not receive any treatment at all. Sometimes a kind of traditional healing. Some say that it's a kind of a madness disease, etc. Lots of stigma. On the right side, even in the family, the patient is often stigmatized or discriminations. And also the self-stigma, patient himself or herself say that I have epilepsy, I cannot do anything at all. That's a very sad story. I have patients, epilepsy patients, whose job is medical doctor, or football player, professional baseball player, gold medalist of Olympic Games. They're working fine, even with epilepsy or even with seizures, okay? 70% of patients can be seizure-free, epilepsy-free, by continuous medication. And 30 patients, I can say maybe half of the 30% can undergo surgery, a small resection of the brain for the seizure treatment. But many people, even medical doctors, do not know the modern treatment option or epilepsy surgery. That's the problem. There are many examinations like electroencephalography, EEG, or MRI, or neuroimaging, but the most important examination is history taking. Usually, I use 1 hour for one patient, not only about seizures, comorbidities, I mean, complications or stigmas or, life issues. It takes time, but it's important. Especially the small seizure is very important. If it's coming from a motor area, patient exhibits just a motor conversion, or somatosensory area, patient suffers with abnormal sensation, or auditory hallucination, visual hallucination, memory loss, character change, or psychic symptoms like fairness or sadness, or sometimes ecstasy. Like famous writer Dostoevsky in Russia, he suffered with temporal lobe epilepsy. He often experienced ecstasy as a symptom of epilepsy. Not only seizures, patients suffer with emotional problem, recognition or behavior, like learning disturbances, depression or anxiety, or irritability, self-stigma, etc. Patient looks happy, but it's masked happiness. We need to go into the inside so that we are collaborating with psychiatrists, also psychologists. 1/3 of patients cannot be happy without patient basis. So we apply long-term video and EEG monitoring for seizure capturing. In our institute, usually 4 days. So 80 hours, continuous monitoring in EEG and video, and we can change their lives. 30% of tough epilepsy is not epilepsy actually. It's just a syncope or heart attack, or sometimes insulinoma or other diseases. But they've been taking anti-epileptic drugs, epilepsy drug for more than 10 years. That's awful, This is a schedule of our 2 weeks examination, history taking, video EEG monitoring, imaging, psychology, and then case conference. We use telemedicine for case conference. Also, outpatient clinic, telemedicine is very nice. And some cases, epilepsy surgery. I studied the telemedicine for epilepsy, not due to COVID-19 pandemic, but because tsunami disasters 10 years ago. I was born this Rikuzen Takata city. It's close to the epicenter of earthquake. And then, I lost 10% of the neighborhood peoples by tsunami. And this is my village. I was born this small village close to the coastline. And then red roof is a gymnasium building of my junior high school. You can see the dark water. This is the first attack of waves. And second one is much bigger than, and it destroyed the gymnasium buildings and many houses. I lost my friend. I lost my cousins and many. I wanted to help my local people. That's why I started the tele-epilepsy clinics. One of my friends in the United States, he started the telemedicine, telehealth soon after Hurricane Katrina disaster. And then Dr. Lowry sent me a pair of Polycom, that's the high resolution teleconference system. And I started to use this one for the tele-epilepsy clinic. This is D to P with D. D means Dr. Nakasato. And then the P is patients. And then another with D means another doctor, local doctor in Kesenuma City Hospital, tsunami devastated area. That is very nice. It takes 3 hours on the halfway and then 6 hours for the round trips. But using this system, I can see my patient from this office. Hi, and then takes 1 hour for history taking. And it really changes the patient history. And even after COVID-19, and we don't need to use mask. I don't like a face mask because it's hide the face expression. So I don't like a facial mask. So telemedicine is very nice. The top row, number A, is a traditional face-to-face clinic of general practitioners. But special epileptologists are very little in numbers. Also, distribution is not homogeneous. So that, for example, my birth village, there's no specialist. So some rich people can use plane or Shinkansen bullet train to visit my office from Okinawa Island's south tip of Japan, also Hokkaido or Kyoto or Tokyo. But it takes time, and then also it costs is very high. That's why I started the C, online consultation, D2P with D, after tsunami disaster. But I thought that D2P with D is very much complicated because the local doctor, he says, I'm happy to learn what kind of epilepsy clinic from Dr. Nakasato, but it takes 1 hour. It's too much. So I really wanted to start direct consultation of epilepsy patients like a D2P. But it's very stupid in Japan, not in any other countries, in Japan only. Face-to-face consultation is essential for the medical treatment, like a prescription of drugs. Any other countries, India, China, Indonesia, Europe, United States, they can see patients directly by telemedicine. But in Japan, our medical law is too much strict. And then governmental office advised me, Dr. Nakasato, you can use direct consultation D2P with patient, but no insurance coverage. And then Dr. Nakasato, you cannot say this is a clinic. You can say this is a second opinion. I thought. But anyway, I started the D2P using without insurance, so that after 1 hour talk with the patient, tele-interview, I say to patient, okay, this is the end of my clinic, and then be happy, bye-bye, but do not trust my decision-making. You should visit your local doctor because I will send him a referral letter to your local doctor so that under the responsibility of your local doctor, you should change your treatment policy, okay? So that this is D, and E is the very nice style, absolute online clinic. I don't need to hospital building. Maybe I can use my house, my home, or maybe a camping resort or in the beach. Using telemedicine, I may be able to see my patient. This is very nice, but of course, under the legal restriction, it is impossible right now. We need to find your doc. I say to my patient, find your doctor, not because the house is close to the local hospital, but you should find a good doctor, by specialty, not geographical reasons, This is another application of the teleconference system. This is the case conference. For us clinicians, case-based learning is very important. Not only textbook, but we learn a lot about the case conference. We usually it takes 30 minutes for one patient, one cases, all teach, all learn policy. Not only medical doctors, but also many nurses, EEG techs, pharmacists, psychologists, social workers, local general practitioners. We learn a lot. And we use teleconference system for the this case conference. This is before COVID-19 because in the one camera, there are many doctors talking together, you know, from Sapporo, north or to south end of Japan and also Indonesia. This is after COVID-19. We're using now Zoom, you know, single attendance space. I just started the teleconference, teleepilepsy conference between tsunami devastated area, Kesenuma City Hospital and Tohoku University only. But it's rapidly distributed to cover all over Japan and Indonesia, Taiwan, Azerbaijan, Canada, and the United States. That's really nice. You know, our case, we can share many professionals. And also I learned a lot. I also started teleepilepsy lectures between Indonesia. I have a friend from Palu, Sulawesi, Indonesia. This is a lecture from Japan to Palu, Indonesia, 2015. I also visited Palu, you know, and beautiful, you know, ocean. And I talked to my friend that, wow, what a nice, but have you ever had a tsunami disaster here? And he said, no, tsunami is usually the southern side of Indonesia, but not around here. But you know, they had a big one. Next year, 2018, you know. This is 2017, 1 year before the big earthquake in Indonesia. This building became like that 1 year later. I was so shocked. Then I started to collaborate with many Indonesian colleagues. This is supported by Nihon Koden EEG company and Kyoto University, and then our Tohoku University. I visited Jakarta, Bandung, Samarang, Surabaya, Makassar, and then Palu to discuss that, you know, internet-based telemedicine-based education, case conference, EEG education, etc. But due to COVID-19, we right now temporarily postponed this project, but we really want to restart this project. I think this type of project can be applied not only in Indonesia, but also other countries, especially for the archipelago countries like Philippines. Of course, China and India, their the telemedicine coverage is very excellent. But maybe we can try to collaborate with Vietnam, Thailand, any Asian countries, because you know time zone is very close to Japan. For that purpose, I think the system engineers' technical advices are very important. You know, so I really hope that someday I can see you again. You know, in this epilepsy, telemedicine, etc. The bottom line is education is the most important for epilepsy care because lots of people, not only patients, but also doctors have only limited knowledge about epilepsy. So we need to educate. This is the modern epilepsy diagnosis and then treatment, okay? For the education, telemedicine is absolutely the #1 technology. Okay, thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nakasato, for your wonderful presentation. So, is there any comments or question from participants?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you very much for your nice presentation. Very meaningful presentation about your country, Kesenuma, and also epilepsy diseases. I have two questions. One is to diagnose epilepsy, the doctor need to see the actual epilepsy situation, or they can diagnose without any seeing actual one?
Yeah, that's a very important question. Without watching real seizures, we usually misdiagnose. For example, syncope, mental depression, the pressures or painness. We usually have a syncope. Blood pressure goes down to 80 or 60, but syncope usually accompanies with a smaller tremor like this, and then often misdiagnoses as epilepsy. Mm-hmm. So that watching the seizure itself is very important. Mm-hmm. And especially the beginning of the seizure is very important. Mm-hmm. Video recording using smartphone might be helpful, but usually it's the later part, but not the beginning, okay? For that purpose, the long-term video EEG monitoring on admission examination is necessary. Mm-hmm. But if we have a witness, observer of seizure attacks, I can directly talk. So I often call from my outpatient clinic to the witness people that how about attack in the school class, or how about in the office, That's kind of history taking is very important. Okay, thank you very much. Nice questions.
Oh, thank you. I understand well. And another question is, you organize Indonesian conference for epilepsy. So of course, I understand that the learner, Indonesian doctors are very good for the getting information about how to diagnose and how to treat. But how I'd like to know the teacher side or Japanese side. Do the doctors in Japanese also get some good point after participating in this kind of conference?
That's right. Yeah, I think the mutual communication, we learn a lot about the Indonesian side as well. Yeah, that's important. Also, the education program for the modern epilepsy care is not only the issue of Indonesia, but also in Japan. I really very much looking forward to changing the Japanese epilepsy care policy. So it's Indonesian Japanese education system is a kind of a model case. If we have a very good result from it, then I would like to say the Japanese government, how about this? In a very short period, we have changed the nice epilepsy care system in Indonesia. But how about Japan? We have to solve lots of problems, This is actually my final goal. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
So is there any question or comments?
May I ask one question? Thank you for your very good, nice presentation. I actually didn't know the epilepsy very well, and then it's very interesting. And then I have a question about your consultation, D2P consultation experience. So have you faced any trouble in this online D2P consultation?
I see. Great. Yeah, actually, it's true. When I'm using online clinic with patients say that I'm using smartphone, and then the communication and network speed is very low on the patient side. So that picture didn't appear finally, but it's okay. You know, for the epilepsy presentation at the clinic, mutual trustship is very important. You know, after talking 2 or 3 minutes with video conference, then the patient became familiar to me, and then so that I switched to the local telephone. And then also I used another phone to communicate with his family living in a remote area. So it's a kind of triangle clinic. So I say that for epilepsy clinic, if the patient is my friend or if the patient is my family or relatives, I don't need to use Zoom meeting. I just use telephone is fine. But for the first meeting, I think the visual image is very important. For example, the patient may see the room here, or I can check the patient's house. Sometimes I say that, wow, how you live in a very fancy house. Could you look around and show me the interior something? Oh, you have a dog, and what's the name? This kind of communication is very important, not only to make a friendship, but also for the diagnosis of psychosocial issues or psychosocial background, or also the diagnosis of economic status, you know. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So not only the one-time communication, but also we have to think about the long-term communication to build the how to say the good relationship with patient. Thank you very much.
So that I think the telemedicine is especially useful for the first clinic. But if it's a repetitive visit, maybe just a telephone is fine.
Thank you very much.
Hi, do you have time? Can I ask a question?
Hello, Miss Pedo.
Sure.
Yeah, good morning, Professor, and good morning, everyone. Professor, it was a lovely presentation on tele-epilepsy. I really enjoyed your presentation, and it's an enlightening presentation for me. But it's quite sad to know that policy in Japan allow only face-to-face consultation and consider telemedicine as a second opinion. And Professor, in the coming future, do you think this policy will change?
Yeah, that's a big problem. You know, we Japanese, in good meaning and also bad meaning, is so much strict. You know, Japanese government too much nervous about telemedicine might be dangerous, they say. Telemedicine may be a kind of some bad companies may distribute the bad telemedicine. I mean, they are afraid of the quality, you know, or some say that telemedicine might leak the patient individual important information, etc. That such kind of troubles may happen in the face-to-face clinic as well. You know, it's not the issue of telemedicine. So I really need to change our policy. But the pandemic is nice. Due to the pandemic, temporarily, I say temporarily, Japanese government allowed us to use telemedicine instead of face-to-face clinics. So I really hope even after the stabilization of the pandemic, Japanese government never stop the telemedicine utility for the all over general issues about the medical care, healthcare. Yeah, I really want to change our policy. Thank you very much.
Okay, so is there any question or comments?
Yes.
Oh, Mr. Kui?
Yes. Good morning, everybody. My name is Quy from Vietnam. I'm engineer, and sometimes I support MOS in Vietnam to make a SAKURA for the telemedicine activity in Vietnam. And we very concerned about the responsibility of the doctor when you have a consultation by telemedicine. Do you have research something like that about evaluated about the percentage? How percent you consultation exactly or not exactly? You have any research and sometime like that? Thank you.
I'm sorry, I didn't copy the last part of your question. What is your question specifically? The quality of physicians?
Yes, yes, it's me. The quality.
Yeah, I think for this is a telemedicine conference. I say that telemedicine can be used for the common diseases and then also very difficult, complicated disease. Okay, for the common diseases, I think telemedicine is useful if the patient lives in the remote area, far from a big town, and then they don't have any doctors. In that case, I think any type of doctor can use telemedicine, like a general practitioner, or even in AI. In China, some telemedicine can be done by AI, early part, and then real doctors. Okay. On the other hand, chronic disease of very special disease like epilepsy or very intractable diseases, specialists number is very limited, not only in Japan, but also in Indonesia or Vietnam or any other countries. Such kind of situation, I think telemedicine does work. Maybe in Hanoi or Saigon, you don't say Saigon, it's Ho Chi Minh, right? Yeah, the special epileptologists, they work, but not in the other areas. In that case, traveling using train or airplane is time consuming, and also it does cost. But I think you can use a teleconference system to see a specialized doctor. That's very, reasonable solution, I think.
Okay. And in our hospital, sometimes we have support for the surgeries for doctor in far from the land is in the Iceland. Sometimes they must have a surgery in an emergency situation, and we must make a television to support him. And I think we are always concerned about the responsibility of the doctor. And sometimes, sometimes the patient will die. And very.
I think there must be some regulation, to check the quality of doctors. Otherwise, I may say that, okay, this is Dr. Nakasato, the epilepsy clinic, 1 hour, $10,000, etc. I may see patient in Vietnam, rich people only, for example. Well, maybe that's legally, even if it's legally fine, but ethically, I don't know. So that in each country, I think the government must decide that, qualification of doctors for telemedicine. Otherwise, it will be a kind of money issues, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, ethical things are different. Yes, but it's very important. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience. Thank you.
Okay, so maybe it's time to close the session. So again, thank you very much, Dr. Nakasato, for your very great presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I really enjoyed. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, so everyone, we will have a 5 minutes break. So yes, please come back for 5 minutes later. Thank you.
So, does anyone from Makati Medical Center would like to check the participant? So I can see two persons from Miguel.
Yes, yes.
Hello.
Hi.
Could you open your camera?
Yes. Well. Here, can you see me now?
Hello.
Hi.
So you you are Mr. Jairus? No, right?
No.
James. Mr. James
I
or
know.
Jairus? Is here?
No. No. We are unable to join. We are the one who will attend this meeting.
May I confirm if Mr. James and Mr. Jairus is attending this meeting?
Unfortunately, they're unable to join this meeting. They are in a other meeting.
Other meeting, okay.
Yeah.
So, do you know if if they can present their presentation?
Yeah. So James relay that we have to do the presentation.
Instead of them.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Tomimatsu-san.
Okay, I got it. ちょっと、Nasan, we have a presentation. Is that correct? Nasan and sorry, Anthony and Nasan, will have a presentation.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
I got it.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for confirmation.
Okay, so can we start the second part of the session? Okay, so Tin-san is and Alvin is already there, so we will have a second institutional update. Today, we will invite the presenter from Nepal, Philippines, and Vietnam. Actually, the Mr. Pramod from Nepal, Mr. Gunjan from Nepal, and Makati Medical Center. In this time, not Jairus and James, but Anthony and Nathaniel will have a presentation instead of them. And Mr. Kui from 108, and the Mr. Vipunam was already finished his presentation yesterday, so we can skip. Then Mr. Tramban Nam, Lemin Tai, and Fan Knockdown. Okay, so Alvin and Tin-san, would you proceed the session?
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. So again, welcome to the day 3 of the SAKURA Science Exchange Program. So for today's session, we will have the, I think 7 institutions to have their presentation. By the way, with me is Mr. Ngovantin from Vinaren as my co-chair. And before we begin, just a reminder to all our speakers that you will have a 12 minutes presentation, and after your presentation, we will have a 3 minutes Q&A. So to begin, let me call our first speaker. He's from Patan Academy of Health Sciences, Mr. Pramod.
Hello, good morning from Nepal. Yes, I'm Pramod Gewali. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Okay. This is my hospital and academic center, and this is our mission vision. Especially our mission is to take the students from rural parts of Nepal and train them and send them to the rural parts there. And the history of our academy is hospital. It was established in 1956, and now it's 650 bedded hospital, and there are more than 1800 staffs. And now we have started our academic session from 2010, and we have we check the patients 3,70,000 per year, and 50,000 plus emergency cases are there, and admission 25,000, and 11,000 operations done, 8,000 of cases are done per year. And this telemedicine is started from the tele-education, that is we named them as a virtual classroom, and this is led by our respected Dean Ma'am, Susan Ashrest, and the working committee with whom I am also engaged is led by the Dr. Ashish Shrest, and this is used for using the IT. And we have 4 district hospitals, and in their training period, they will go there and treat the patients in rural parts of Nepal. This is the one historical pictures that I want to share. During our starting point, we used like this way. And now we will talk in regarding COVID-19 pandemic situation. Patan Hospital is one of the COVID-19 hub hospital of Nepal. It's the hub hospital, and because of hub hospital, we prepared the COVID-19 preparedness and response plan. It's 28 pages, and the executive member has given IT department for the communication part, so that we are very happy, and we go through whatever the responsible given to us. And for this one, Research Educational Network Nepal, and they have helped us on Zoom application and their connectivity. And the service provider, commercial network provider, they have provided wireless connectivity to the COVID ward. There are more than 150 bed for the COVID patients, and they have provided the wireless facility as a social corporate responsibility. I would like to thank them for these things. And we use tools for this communication, walkie-talkie and Viber, Zoom. And for the examination purpose, to continue our academic activities, we use exam.net. At that time, it was free. And now Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, WhatsApp, Facebook Live, these tools are used during pandemic situation. And we are the 4 members here, and we support network management, set up venue, maintain the quality of video, audio, and network, troubleshooting, coordinating with presenters, and make this telemedicine, teleeducation happen. And the beneficiary groups are ourselves. We learn a lot of things in this pandemic, and COVID patients and their guardian for their for the update of patients and for their health. And then after Ministry of Health and local government bodies, and undergraduate, postgraduate students are also beneficiary group. And collaboration, we did collaboration with many national and international organizations to fight against COVID-19 during these things. And we started new services in IT. HMIS, it has been strengthened, and PCR vaccination certified center, it is recognized here, and that HMIS online application, these things. And most importantly, for teleconference, and most of the wards classroom becomes small conference rooms. That is the main achievement for this telemedicine and teleconference. And internet facility in the COVID wards, patients can also use. It's normal. It might be normal in Japan, but it's used things in our country, low resource country. And monitoring patients remotely in isolation rooms and passages, in the passage, those things. And there are many events, and some of the events are this government to government China experience sharing, global sharing with Korea, and COVID, and national vaccination center it becomes, and hub satellite meeting, online education academic, and faculty development due to pandemic, how to teach and how to learn from the many countries. We did this one. Psychiatric counseling for staffs, students, and patients as well, and palliative care in this situation. And our academic activity journal, what we did, that IRC, rural posted students, graduates work, their work, who are passed out, and what they did in this one, those events were done. And this is the timetable for these things. And our Chinese ambassador to Nepal, she has chaired the session between the China and Nepal, and this is our auditorium room. And from the government and from our faculties, we did this one. This was very improvement for Nepal to for the fight of COVID. This one, this knowledge sharing, and this is knowledge sharing 2 times. It happens from the Korea. These things are KDI schools. And communication between the doctors, between the we have a next buildings, newly built buildings, that we made this COVID wards, and doctors they have a rounds there, and sometimes the junior doctors, they will talk with the senior doctors. That is the one of the communication. It has been done. These things has been done in many ways. And nurses also, they get benefited from this telecommunications and tele-educations to share. And this is one of the inauguration of COVID vaccine at Nepal, the first day of COVID vaccine at Nepal. And this is live telecasted by many national and international televisions. And these are done simultaneously in some of the hospitals of Nepal. That one of the hospital is Patan Hospital also. And we are a hub hospital, and there are many satellite hospitals as well as local government bodies. And we did a lots of sharing, experience sharing between us, and that update, and we made a plan and implement what are the things that we need to do. Those things are done in these meetings. And we did online education and examination. Now due to this lack of physical presence, we did online classes, we did online examination, and we made like this schedule. And like this way we conduct the classes, and exam also we did here. And international faculty development, it has been done through in our hospitals also we share, and from the in this pandemic situation, how we educate our residents and our doctors in a quality. These things were discussed in this meeting. And now this psychiatric sharing, these things has been done. And most importantly, this one we had very stress, because we have to present every day here, and everything was closed. We have to treat the patients with COVID. We don't know what it will happen, and that stress management also it and one of the peak situation, many people they died in Nepal, and how we should handle these things. This psychiatric department did very wonderful job to educate us, to motivate us to treat the patients, and these things has been done. And some of the for the patients also, they can whatever they have the resources. Suppose if they have Viber or WhatsApp, they can talk with them. If they don't have anything, they can talk with the telephone line. They did these things, and we share their experience in this Google Docs, so that they will give the feedback. And we treated more than 1,000 people for this psychiatric counseling. And most importantly, we hadn't have any HMI system in clinical cases. Now because of this COVID, we had a very nice application to keep the record of patients. Clinical records also we had started from this pandemic situation, and so that every doctors within our network, they can access the resources, and they can look those things. These things we have started these things. And some of the international events like palliative care, mental health, our vice chancellor and our director, they did they had they become the speakers for these things. And now other parties like Leo Club and with our faculty and students, we had the preventing suicide program we had done. And those graduates who are in rural Nepal, they have presented the cases there and how they treat them, and the guidance as given by our faculties. These things it are. And on what we are working, it is review committee. We had discussed these things. And to give the information to the public what we are doing, you can check in our website every day. Till now we will publish what are the cases, what we do there. That is the one. And for the internal communication system, we use the Google Drive between the communication. And what for the record keeping systems, we use these things. And how we give the online education and training to the medical students. Our dean, she has given in this she has given her opinions in this interview, one of the international, I think this is the journal, international journal interview she has given. We can check on that one. And most importantly, I want to take the time on this one. These challenges what we faced here is that our executive has given order that we can do online classes. And I was a single person to host 3 classes at once. I took 3 pieces and everything that one, and other faculties and others are not aware of this technology, and just it was very huge task. And if we have like breakout rooms in Zoom, like breakout rooms, then it will be very easy to use those things. And communication between groups of people now, from the basic science to the postgraduate residents, it is very difficult. I feel that one. And there was a lockdown here. We cannot purchase anything at that time, video, audio. Now all the ward rooms becomes the conference room. Now from where we need to purchase those things, we will not. That is the one scarcity. Now educating mute and unmute, that is also still challenging here. And we had a newly constructed COVID wards, and to set up IT infrastructure there, it was very difficult. And but our team, IT team, we did that setup, and it is still running. And auditorium and small conference rooms, those things are used for to keep the medical equipments. Due to lack of at that time, we did not get any equipments on time, so that government, whatever the donation that came to the government, they will distribute to the hospitals, and we keep those things on that one. And most of the staffs are nearly 800 staffs are suffered from COVID-19. I also one of them, and our team, we too suffered. And at that time we had a scarcity of manpower. And what I feel in this pandemic situation is that some of the presenters, remote presenters, they want new applications or new technology on that one. Those things I was not aware of that one, and it was very difficult situation to make them to use the application which I was aware of. I am aware of those applications. It was very difficult. And medical students, who they are from the rural parts, and they have difficulties to get the internet in initial stages. Later on they have managed, but to overcome that situation, we use recording system, and we share on drive with them, and they can access when they have the internet facility. And for this presentation, I would like to acknowledge Dr. Ashish Shrestha, Mr. Tej Prasad Gimire, and my colleagues Manish Marjan, Amar Marjan, and Rupesh Tharu. And thank you. If you have any questions, I will happy to.
Okay. Thank you, Pramod, for your presentation. So is there any comments or questions from the audience?
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Thank you, Pramod, for your nice presentation. I'm very impressed that you have a variety of online events after COVID-19. Actually, the before COVID-19, you support this kind of activity, or you start supporting this kind of activity after COVID-19?
Yes, we used to have online education and other things before COVID-19 also, but the length of the program, the number of programs are fewer before COVID-19. Later on COVID-19, now all those things, it goes to the online systems. And for each, and we have a School of Medicine, nearly 5 batches are there, and for public health 2 batches, for nursing nearly 7-8 batches are there. And for all those things running at once, it was very difficult for us, but we because of your guidance from the beginning, TEMDEC, yes, I would like to thank TEMDEC because of those guidance, those training, and we made it happen, and this was successful. And my supervisor, dean, and executives, they are very happy for those things.
Wow, thank you very much. Yeah, great. And also another question. You introduced that you used newly after COVID-19 some online hospital management system or some clinical records.
Yes, for the in-patient, we did not have. We used to write in a paper, we do not have any medical information on systems, on HMIS systems. And for in the COVID-19 now, some of the doctors, they have taken some responsibility of some wards, some patients, and but at that time special service has to be taken.
Oh, great.
And at that time, super specialty for the super specialty services, we used this one HMIS system in all COVID wards. Now, from the learning from that, we used to transfer this knowledge to other wards, non-COVID ward also.
Okay, thank you for your information. Thank you, great.
Okay, thank you.
Any question?
In the interest of time,
sorry,
we can
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a last question. Shunta.
My question is regarding this slide. You mentioned that most of the word classroom becomes a small conference room, but does it mean before the COVID, the students get together to the classroom? But in this time, some students come to the conference room and others will connect from online, or only the teacher connect from classroom and all students connect independently?
Yes, this is very nice questions. Now, actually, we had a physical classrooms before COVID-19. We had, and some of these students, they according to their rotation, we had a rotation for academic purposes. According to the rotation, the students, they arrive in the classroom, and faculties, they have to compulsory come to the hospitals, and they will use this classroom as a conference room. And some of the students are in the home, and they take the classrooms in that way.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Paramot, with presentation. And my name is Tịnh. I'm working in Vietnam Research and Education Network. And today I'm very glad to share and support meeting with Mr. Avid. And all of you have a nice presentation. And the next, I want to invite Mr. Gunjan from Chibuvan University. Mr. Gunjan, are you here? Oh, please share your presentation.
Thank you, Tenzan. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah, I can hear you very clear. Yeah.
Okay.
You have 12 minutes to presentation and 3 minutes for question and answer. Yes,
okay,
please.
thank you. Okay. Namaste. I'm Gunjan Ranjitkar from Institute of Medicine to TUTS Teaching Hospital from Nepal. I'm working here since 2009 and still working as a system engineer. Let me warn you, I have like lots of pictures at this before pandemic and after pandemic also. Tribhuvan University Teaching Hospital, like Institute of Medicine, it was established in 1972 under TU, which was the first decade of establishment, and it's still running now. And it was established for the manpower for the health sector, which was target in those times. But now we have like 18 of the affiliated colleges, which has like a lot affiliation in MBBS faculties and IT, BMLIT, BIT, these all the faculties there. It was established in 1980 with the generous support of Japanese government, which was also inaugurated in 1986 by late King Birendra Saha, an integral part of Institute of Medicine, which objective is to facilitate the education, research, and health sector, provide a practical field for the academic training programs, basically on graduate and postgraduates, which conducts medical research projects and provides a major inspiration to biomedical and health research in Nepal. This is the picture before the construction of Tribhuvan University Teaching Hospital, and this is the current stage at present now. We have like lots of hospital inside the premises. One of them is BBKI Ophthalmic Studies, Monmon Cardiovascular and Transplant Center, ENT Ganeshman Singh Bhawan, and Dental TU Teaching Hospital. The newly inaugurated hospital is Suresh Wagle Memorial Cancer Hospital. IT department was formed by our ex-director, Professor Dr. Pradeep Vaidya. Now he left IT department, which is established in the purpose of assessing IOM goal to exceed in medical education and research and services. DIT also provided cheapest internet and faster internet so far till now, with the wireless and non-wireless cable, wired or non-wireless service till now inside the premise, IOM premises. We also provide free internet connections for the faculties, students, and in the library, example like in the library hall, for the faculties, for the departments inside the IT premises. But now we have like 3 of the newly IT heads. One of them is Dr. Bikal Kimire, and the other one, Dr. Laval Shrestha and Dr. Asim Bhattrai. This is the existing network in our IT department, which covers every hospital, every department, every areas inside the IM premises, teaching hospital. We have also thumbprint at this point, and the camera services, which is recording 24/7. We have also IP camera recording inside the classroom also. At present, our DIT server room, I know it's a bit jumbled up. Everything is like messed up now. I also feel very grateful, like this is not with me. I even like this problem happens to Sunta Sane when I was there searching for these devices and all. I still feel the same here. We still have like problems, and we still have like to find the solution. It takes a lot of time because my team, like we have only 3 of them. We have like hotline power supply with 24/7 generator power. We have like good bandwidth now. We find any errors or anything problems in the network with the MRTG and PRTG graph. We also have like unified AP Wi-Fi devices, which we control through software. And we also have like recently have a Rizu network, which also we control from cloud controlled. We've been using this Google and Microsoft Office email for the G Suites for the organization. We have been hosting websites like 21 or even like more. One of them is like Institute of Medicine. This is the one of the websites. This is the website for IMDIT. And the newly one is TUTS, Teaching Hospital websites. We also have a hospital information system, which we had been using since 2010 and still been using now. And this HMIS has helped in pandemic a lot, very much for the doctors and the other medical staffs. We also have been using e-counseling for the exam section, which we take our exams, what we call this students intake and all. We also have office management system where we put our all those documents online, and we have this work division method. This is the automation system. We've been using e-log book for faculties and students since before the pandemic. We inform the doctors, every doctors, OPD schedules from the bulk SMS service system. we have been helping the faculties for free internet, LAN or wireless, printing their journals, printing their documents for the department, which is kind of like free of cost. I and my team, we are like helping the doctors, the faculties, the staffs to maintain the computers, especially for the department computers and the laptops. Yeah, some of the pictures there. We used to train and have a training classes for the faculties for the nursing journals, and this is one of the classes conducted by Dr. Pradeep Vaidya before. He used to take the classes from Kathmandu to away from the valley, which is like 200 kilometers away from the valley. What I learned from Temdek, which helped me a lot in this online session for the online, especially for the video portal. I have the idea, and we still been using such devices now. Before the pandemic, we had a small devices called Kubi, which is first robotic stand system, where we use this, and we connected with the IT. Okay, sorry, this ICU patient, and which was one of them was handled for the Syed Gangalal National Heart Center. At the time of pandemic, we had a very tough time. So what we did was like we used Zoom and any other means, because only the person like us, like who knows how to use Zoom or how to use Google, they were very easy. But for the other people, where they only know Imo, Viber, and these kind of very small softwares, the people only know these kind of systems. So we integrated each and everything, whatever we have, to connect these with the doctors, connect to them, talk to them, and either by telephone or by calling them or by transferring telephones. Zoom was very much used them. So we had instructions how to use Zoom to the doctors, to the faculties, to the teachers there. Especially teachers are very not used to these kind of devices. So what we did is like we used their TeamViewer software, told them to install them AnyDex or some sort of devices, remote devices. So we conducted classes there. This was the APON held virtually during the pandemic. We also interact sessions with the affiliated college in the pandemic, and we also had a CPSC Pakistan training session in the pandemic. This is one of the pictures where how we conducted the session, Zoom session. You can see the servers there, computers there, each and everything was there. We at the time of the pandemic, where we had to conduct classes, we even had like 8 to 10 of them running at the same time. We could do this from our home, but the thing was like the bandwidth in our home areas are very limited. So we had like lots of problems regarding the internet. So we used to come here. I came here also here, and then we conducted the session there. This is some of the Zoom connected session, and the very best part was like inside the hospital they didn't have like much of the wireless devices there. Everyone has Wi-Fi devices like a mobile or like a tab or laptop, but it was very difficult for them to use the LAN cables wireless. So we had very tough time and interesting time to install new devices, new wireless devices, each and every part of our like departments, hospital sessions, setups there. We even had Zoom's meeting with working from home. You can see that 3 of the laptops working at the same time. We also had like online interaction section with our doctors after the office, or after the office session. Zoom classes were conducted in the pandemic. We also set up a COVID testing lab with internet connections. These were some of the swab collection there, and we also have the report sent by SMS to the patients there. We are very happy. Right, we conducted this TU Teaching Hospital online ticketing facility, which started on at the same pandemic time. Everyone was scared in the pandemic at those times. Everything was closed there, and you know, you can even see this in the time of pandemic, COVID time. We had to wear this what do you call this, these braces and all. But after that, after the COVID, I even had like once 2 shots of coronavirus, and after that I felt like it's normal one. So after the pandemic, we started to use as like normal one. The weather was very clean, but at the con side, like the negative side, due to extreme logging and the decrease in work staffs in the dean office, I'm still facing lots of problems regarding the staffs, and many staffs were infected with coronavirus. So the rise of the COVID was also increasing. You can even see the difficulty to work with less manpower, without the safety measures and all. Everybody wanted to use Wi-Fi internet in their own departments, in their own rooms there, and before touching or looking at the patients, the doctors used to use them. So we had a very tough time. The devices were also less. Then the manpower were also less. We also had a very inquiries regarding the ICU beds. I think regarding these all people, especially the departments, especially the doctors there, they wanted to use their old, even the older PCs, Windows 98 PCs, Windows XP PC, which are obsolete. We help them. The number of desktops stack in the pandemic time. You can see this. These stacks were on. I want to say, like, everybody remembers doctors, nurses, pharmacies, and all the health officials, but not they don't even care about IT guys who works 24/7, keeps everyone connected. Thank you. Dhanyavad.
Thank you, Mr. Gunjan, for your presentation. Any question for Mr. Gunjan?
Thank you.
Mr. Nam raising a hand.
Mr. Bufuram, please.
Thank you for your presentation. And I have 2 questions. I see in your slide very beautiful robot. And the first question, and I want to know, what do you use this robot for? And the second question is, what issues do you have when you set up the new device? For example, Wi-Fi, internet, camera, just this robot.
Okay, this Kubi is one of the first robotic table stand. It only shows the patient's front to and fro, back and forth. So what we did was we connected this, we placed this in ICU where the patients were very much, and it's kind of like you place your mobile or a tablet there and just monitor the patients there.
And can it move?
Yes, by using the Zoom app, you have to install the small software from Google Store or even from the Windows. You can connect and then you can rotate.
Yeah, and the second is, what use do you have when you set up the new device?
Mostly, okay, thank you for the question. Mostly what we use is like we use mobile to connect to inform the doctors there, senior doctors. The junior doctors has to inform them how many patients are there, what is happening there, because it was a time schedule. The doctors there, they were like inside the ICUs inside the hospital, and the senior doctors were not there, so they have to inform from the hospital sector to the remote sector. And what we did is like we install Wi-Fi devices everywhere so that they can connect anywhere with their wireless device or wired device.
And yes, I want to say when in my hospital when we use Wi-Fi,
yes,
the signal is not very good because the one so many, and we need network light.
Okay.
Yeah,
so yes, for us we also had the same problem. So what we did is we installed small devices. The bandwidth was the strength was very high, only to the small, like only to the inside the room, not outside the room. We had to place every devices inside every floor, every rooms there, every places there. So especially in the seminar halls, especially in the ICUs sector outside the hospital.
Many. Yes, I know it's many. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for your answer.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Any question? Any question for Mr. Gunjan?
Any questions from the side? I'm sorry, I was very fast, I guess.
James is raising his hand.
Yeah, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I just want to ask about the robotic stand, right? Is that is like your own? I mean, did you purchase it like third-party software, or did you literally make it out from scratch?
I'm really sorry. We don't have to purchase, especially these things. They come as a donation or as a pilot project, or as a pilot project. So we install these devices, test them, and give the report if it's usable or it's not usable, it's handy or not. Especially these devices comes there.
Okay, so you're like doing it like QA, right? You're
testing.
Yeah, you're testing the device. Then if it's a yes or a no, it would be depending on your testing, your analyzation, right? Okay.
Yes.
So it's more like your group is like an IT which supports the hospital, and at the same time like R&D, research and development.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, is there any more questions?
Ms. Kuriko, do you have any questions?
Yeah, thank you, Gunjan. Actually, there was many questions, so I keep silent. But I personally congratulate for your great activity and training.
Thank you.
I remember we met first time in 2015, very early generation of our training.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, very dramatically system is changed and the activities also changed. And I surprised that you have training with Pakistan.
Yes.
So yeah, what kind of do you have any activity or doctor relationship or any why you start training with Pakistan?
Actually, for CPSP Pakistan, it's a training process there. We have a department called CPSP training program inside our academic session. So what these department do is they intake the students there from Nepal, and they affiliated with the CPSP in Pakistan. And before we used to take physical classes, but now after the pandemic, or in the pandemic time, we started using the virtual classes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Gunjan.
Yes, thank you.
Before we proceed, let me remind all the presenters to submit your presentation on the link provided by Yoshiko in the chat box. So for our next speaker, on behalf of Mr. Jairus and Mr. James, may I call on Mr. Miguel Del Villar to present for Makati Medical Center.
Hi, good afternoon. I will share my screen now.
Yes, please.
Can you see it now, guys?
Yes.
Hello. Yeah. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm John Miguel Del Villar, Network Administrator of Makati Medical Center. Our unit head is James Garcia, and then the department head is Jairus Villarico, and then my colleague here is Nathaniel Zabala, and then Anthony Aguilon. No? And then I will start now. And then this is the Makati Medical Center history. Makati Medical Center was founded by renowned Filipino doctors and businessmen in 1969. On May 31, 1969, the Makati Medical Center formally opened its doors to the public. For its founder, it marked the fulfillment of a dream and then the culmination of years of hard work and sacrifice to provide world-class healthcare for Filipinos. Located at the heart of country's primary central business district, Makati Med, with a 600 bed space capacity. We are also accredited by international certification body. We are now in the 6th edition of Joint Commission International. And then last week is the 7th edition. We are undergo audit, and then we are waiting for the result for the JCI. And then Makati Medical Center became a part of the Metro Pacific Investment Corporation group of hospitals in 2007, following MPICS investment in Medical Doctors Incorporation. Owner and operator of Makati Med, Manuel B. Pangilinan, has served as chairman of the board since then. And then those pictures is the founders of the Makati Med. And then Makati Med is located here in the Philippines, specifically in Metro Manila, Makati City. Okay. And then this is the Makati Medical Center, and this is the emergency room, the Tower 1, and then this is the Tower 2. Okay, this is the corporate partners of Makati Medical Center over in 50 years. No? And then this is the Health Maintenance Organization as of June 2020. And then this is the Strategic Hospital Alliance Program, or SHA. We have a different location in Asia, in Qatar, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, no? Different region. Yeah. And then for our technical support for teleconference in 2020, our IT service desk provide the technical support for end users. Actually, they are the one level 1 support of when it comes to technical issues. No? And then one IT service desk assigned the standby support per event. And then software being used for teleconference is Zoom, for their meetings, Microsoft Teams, StreamYard, Google Meet, GoToWebinar, GoToMeeting, AirMeet, and then we have also a FB, Facebook Live, and then the Viber. And then for this, the hardware used for teleconference for host, they use laptop, Logitech C9020 camera, USB condenser microphone. For end users, they use laptop, desktop, mobile devices. And then technical support for teleconference in 2020. Network support provides the following: Wi-Fi credentials for on-premises conference. We provide a Wi-Fi account because they have a limited access in the internet, no? So that we are the one providing account so that they can use, for example, Facebook, Zoom meetings, Viber, anything in the teleconference. And then we set up also the LAN connection for the event host for stable connection. And then bandwidth allocation. For the bandwidth allocation, we add bandwidth to those having a meeting so that they can maintain the stable connection, stable video, and then stable voice. And then corporate line, this is our ISP. We have a list line ISP 250 Mbps. This is our primary. And then our backup is list line ISP 100 Mbps secondary. And then we have a separate Wi-Fi connections or ISP for the doctors and patients line. We have a 3 times 300 Mbps commercial grade ISP. Okay, how often this one? For this one, the last year we have a monthly Facebook podcast. This podcast is asking your doctor anything about your health, or they have a pre-consultation, and then OB-GYN, and then about diabetes, anything about health of the person. Then HR orientation and training. This one is used for the newly hired employee, and due to pandemic, no, they use Viber for the communication for this orientation and then training. And then yearly doctors in service examination, every 3 months nurse in service examination, quarterly division meeting, and then monthly departmental meeting, and then weekly unit meeting. For this all meeting, we use a Zoom, because due to pandemic, no, we can't use a one room, so that we use a Zoom meeting. And then difficulties for this teleconference, no? Event host location Wi-Fi coverage is out of range, and then access point radio noise and interference per area, insufficient manpower of IT service desk for standby support per event, insufficient service unit laptop for video con event, insufficient internet bandwidth on peak office hours, and then conflict of events on date and time. Because for this one, we have a we have a 6 accounts for the Zoom meeting or the Microsoft Teams. No? We have 6. So every day we only accommodate 6 meetings. And then that's it for the Makati Medical Center. Any question, guys?
Okay, thank you. Is there any comment or questions?
May I have a question?
Yes, please.
Hey, thank you, Miguel, for your nice presentation. My question is about your team. In this time, you, Miguel, Anthony, and Nathaniel is connected. Also, you have James and Giles. 5 of them are belongs IT department.
We're from network team, yes, under ICT department.
Okay, and Is there any other IT departmental staff or only 5 of you?
Hi, Shinto. Let me answer the question. So Makati Medical Center has an ICT group, right? So an ICT group is have two divisions. I mean, two departments. Yeah, two departments. The other one is the BSD, which is comprised of the developers, programmers, etc. The other one is the infrastructure support, which comprised of network, which is under my team, network and telecoms. And the other one is the server support team, which handles all the servers. The other one is the IT support team, which handles all the level 1, technical assistance. So the one who presented, Miguel, and the rest of my team is under only on network and telecoms. Network and telecoms handles the internet, the firewall, the security, the switches, and everything related on the internet and the connectivity on premise and outside of Makati Med. So right now, this is my team, but we have other teams also with different, So the teleconference actually is handled by the IT service desk. But on backup support, like the bandwidth allocation and account creation and everything, we also help them. Okay, so that's it. So more or less, my team is composed of, we are only at the moment 3 network administrators and me. Then 2 telecoms administrator. The telecoms administrator handles the telephony. So Cisco IP phone, Avaya IP phone, analog, digital, everything about telephones. So these 3 guys here with me handles the network itself. Okay. Any question?
Yes, thank you very much.
Hi, sir. May I know the name of your 2 telcos? Your provider?
Yeah, primary provider is PLDT. So
Okay.
PLDT is the biggest telco provider in the Philippines. Second one is Globe, under Ayala. Yeah.
Thank you.
But we have also, sir, third provider. So it's under also PLDT, but different line.
So
it's like,
back.
yeah, it's like a backup for backups. So it's the main connection of our doctors and patients. So meaning to say, if ever the main line and the backup line is compromised, we can still, the production.
Okay.
Regarding po dun sa as a jobber.
Okay.
As check po.
Any questions?
Is there any more questions for Makati Medical Center? Okay, I think Mr. Tin, you can proceed with the next speaker. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank Mr. Miguel. And so the next, I want to invite Mr. Nevin Kui from 108 Military Central Hospital. Mr. Kui.
Stop your
Are you
sharing.
here?
Yes, I can hear you, Herbert.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see your present. Please.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Cambridge, and thank you everyone to invite me to have a brief presentation for our activity at television. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Kui. I'm an engineer and I work in 108 Military Center Hospital. I'm an IT engineer. And but first, I would like to introduce our hospital. Our hospital established on 1951, and we are one of the 5 special and biggest hospital in Vietnam. And we and in the on our slide we on my slide we you can see the news, the new hospital and the hospital. We have many special like endoscopic imaging, SAKURA, molecular biology, ophthalmology. For our telemedicine system, we have a two system. The first I would like to introduce the 8323 system. We have Liza and Cisco. We you can see in the slide we have the grid. 16 parts. We have one set. We have a video center. We one set, and we have the 5 icon, and we have a 2 sets team, and we also have a 5 sets Cisco SX20. Another we have a video remote system. This are the video remote system like Zoom, but it's provides Russia. We use a system for the telemedicine mobile like this. We have implement the video video most on the telemedicine mobile system. You can see on the slide. The doctor can treatment and consultation with the center through the video most by the 3G signals to our hospital. The last year we have a new system from the Ethos Health. We have a 4 sets. The model is like to with the special equipment we can connect and we can consultation when we can have examination with a professor very easy by mobile and by website. And another, we also can provide connect to the another software like video, Zoom, Polycom, Google Meet, WebEx, and Microsoft Teams. In Vietnam, we are the center of the military telemedicine network, and we can connect to many our Iceland via satellite for support examination and treatment. For our activity, we have three main telemedicine. The first tele-education about average for 5 times per week. For the telemedicine consultation or examination, we an average for 4 times per week. And teleconference in the pandemic, 19 pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic, we have every day average about 10 times per day. This is some pictures of our tele-education. We can organize workshop with many hospitals in Vietnam and another country like Japan, Korea, France, and Malaysia. And this picture we would like to show about we use the tele-education for the training for doctor, for the nurse when we wear a mask and we take a mask in when face to face with the patient in the COVID-19 pandemic. And another, we have a teleconsultation and examination. We can support for the many special on television like the SAKURA and endoscopic and so on. every week we have a teleconsultation with our center hospital in Laos and with another military hospital in Vietnam every week. We also support the emergency care on the Iceland by telemedicine. The last but not least, I would like to thank Campbell and Binaren who always support our hospital in provide telemedicine activity with another country and another hospital in Vietnam. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Quy, for your presentation. Any comment or question for Mr. Lê Quang Quý?
May I have a question?
Yes.
This is Shinta speaking.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Kui, for your good presentation. My question is regarding the next slide. Go to next slide. No. Go down. Yes, this teleconsultation. I think this is kind of the live surgery broadcasting.
Yes, it's like SAKURA. We are connected through endoscopy through our hospital with the Vietnam hospital.
So your 108 is transmitting the endoscopy to other institutions.
Yes, and the second picture we have live SAKURA with the NCGM in Tokyo, Japan.
Oh, really?
Yes.
It means you transmitting to Tokyo.
Yes, Tokyo. NCGM center in Tokyo.
Okay. So how do you transmit? By using Polycom or Zoom or using the YouTube broadcasting?
I think we depend on the situation. Sometimes we use 8323 Cisco, and sometimes we use Zoom, and sometimes we use video.
Okay. And Kui, you are setting up the transmitting the equipment. Is that correct?
Yes, I do by myself.
Okay. Thank you very much. Very good.
Yeah, thank you.
And Mr. Nam is raising a hand.
Yes.
Mr. Nam, please.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Quy. And I have a question about your system. Do you use vMeet, another name is MoMeet system? It's from Viettel Corporation. And how is your evaluation? How is your rate about vMeet system?
Thank you for your question. The Viettel television is the television provider Viettel is the one of the biggest companies, technology company in Vietnam. But I don't have experience to use it. And sometimes we connect with Viettel by the Polycom presenter.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. If no question, and thank Mr. Quy for your presentation.
Igor, do you have any question?
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Thank you, Kui-san. I'm very surprised that you have many events in a week.
Yes.
So you said you have 5 education in a week and the consultation 4 times and the teleconference 10 conferences in a day. And so you how many staff you have? How you manage that activity?
You mean how many or what?
How many technical staff supported?
So far we have a 20% staff. Yes.
Great. 20% IT staff for 20?
Yes, we have 20%.
Oh, great.
In the also 20% staff to do many things in the IT activity in our hospital, but in the COVID-19 pandemic, almost people provide the experience, provide the time for support for the telemedicine activities for most time.
Yeah, great. And also you are one weight is a core hospital of military hospital network, right? So you need to train collaborating hospitals.
Yes.
Well, great activity. Yeah, thank you very much for your
support. Them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
May I have a question?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. About the your telemobile car. So I remember that you talked about this maybe last year or 2 years ago. So how about now? Do you have this one right now, or just the in the idea?
Yes,
because I have the research for research for this one, and I have the presentation for 2 years later in the teleconference. So I really wonder how it did.
Okay, thank you so much. I think in Vietnam our hospital is one of the. I think only our hospital have a telemobile system. The last year we integrate the video desktop on the mobile on the car. You can see on the slide, and we connect by the 3G signal. And I think it is very useful some situation because we almost support the VIP person in Vietnam, and sometimes our doctor and our nurse must come to the house as a VIP person, and in this case very useful, and they can have a consultation with the center. I think very useful, and I know in the near future, our hospital we buy the another car. We buy the all-in-one in the car, but we don't use another PC, another equipment we integrate on the car. Thank you.
So how about the bandwidth? Because your router is the 3D, so can it enough for the vital sign?
Yeah, so far we the upgrade to the 4G. Yes.
Okay.
And the bandwidth, I think is a 2 megabit is enough.
Okay.
Just a follow-up questions about the link. Is there in case you have a signal problem transmitting the data, do you have any backup on how to transmit the data to the hospital?
Yes, of course. Sometimes we moved the car is moved on the ways. The signal are not enough for the quality of the image, and in this case we back up by the another router from the another brand. Example, in Vietnam we have two brands provide the the Wi-Fi, Viettel and VNPT, and we have two equipment to back up.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, I think there's no more question for Mr. Kui. Thank you, Mr. Kui, for your presentation.
Yes, thank you.
To proceed, let me call on our next speaker, Mr. Tran Van Nam from the Vietnam National Institute of Technology.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay, you may share your slides now, please.
Can you see slide?
Yes.
Yes.
Can.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Nam. I'm come from VNL in Vietnam. And this is my presentation about technical support for the application of teleconference under COVID-19 pandemic in VNL. VNL had an address in Hanoi, capital of Vietnam. My VNL is a Vietnam Special Ophthalmology Hospital, and my hospital has international cooperation with countries such as Japan, France, USA, India, Australia, etc. VNL is also a member of the Asia Pacific Ophthalmology Association and Southeast Asian Ophthalmology Association. The year 2020 were defended by the coronavirus pandemic. Arguably, the world pandemic is the world in had seen in 1,000 years. In likely it affect nearly every aspect of life, from work and school to everyday activities like eating, grocery, and even global. We can live. We can't leave the house and can't shake hands, and we have to keep our distance of other. Everything is so different. Hospital action under the COVID-19 pandemic. At first, everyone was subject with the virus. They think the virus is so far away and can detect their home. We need to change their thing and provide information about the danger of coronavirus. We're building an automatic temperature control system from exchange. Temperature control is very quick way to detect people at risk from they we will take them to other. That it will process along with procedure and do not gather in large number. No offline meeting, no scientific activity. And teleconference is the best and most study solution for hospital activity. Technical support for teleconference from 2020 and meeting online, webinar, training, and international cooperation activity. In the past, most of briefing we held in this room, and now it is a meeting via Zoom from hospital director to chief of a department and director hospital to everyone. In 2020 hospital, the sixth time scientific conference in the field of ophthalmology with 5 new connection in Hanoi capital, Ho Chi Minh City, Singapore, Taiwan, and However, we need the cooperation of the number of partners compare in organize because we do not have enough equipment. In 2020, hospital try connect to urban conference as guest in APAN 51 and organizer in APAN 50 in ophthalmology session. Application we use we patch Zoom and stream on YouTube and Facebook application. Mass gathering are not allowed so well for bring our chain class from to apply to online. And international cooperation activity. We attend the conference in 25 Asia Pacific ophthalmology conference in September, and we attend Southeast Asia ophthalmology council. COVID-19 had complete training for some small human habit, forcing users to change and adapt the habit. Also, skillful user either this work, but also encounter a number of difficult when it came to online deploy such in equipment, engineers been are still limited. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Nam. Is there any questions?
Hello, this is Shunta from Temtech.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for your nice presentation, Nam-san. And I have a question, but you mentioned that difficulties there is engineers skills, but how many engineers in your institution to support the teleconference? Only you, or is there any colleagues?
We have the three engineers to start for teleconference.
Okay, very good. And another question is about the teleconference. Please move to the teleconference, right? Okay.
Yes.
Please move the slide. Next slide. Okay. Yes. Next. Next. Yes. This one. So. Okay, you support the online meeting, but only this kind of teleconference room are you using, or sometimes doctor use this kind of personal laptop?
We sometimes use mobile and laptop and camera. Sony camera.
Okay. So when a doctor use the mobile, you don't have to support. But when doctor use this kind of meeting room, you need to support. That's correct.
I support for meeting group.
Okay. I got it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, is there any more questions for Mr. Nam? So I think there's no more question. Mr. Tin?
Yeah. Thank Mr. Trần Văn Nam. And next speaker, I want to invite Mr. Levin Tai from the Duke Hospital. Please share your presentation. Please turn on your microphone. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so wait for a minute.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my laptop is
It's not
no.
cooking.
So can I turn to the last presentation?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So,
Yes. I will be changed to next speaker. Invite Mr. Phạm Ngọc Đặng from University Medical Center Ho Chi Minh City. Please show the presentation. Mr. Đặng, are you here?
Sorry, we can I the next we send the next.
No.
Actually, we have last two speakers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Only two.
my MacBook cannot share the slide, so it.
Could you send your slide to me? And
Okay.
I will...
Can you see it?
I can. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Please, Mr. Tai from
Yeah,
the officer.
Okay. So hello everyone. Good afternoon. So I'm Thais from the IT department of the Việt Đức University Hospital. So here I will talk about the technical support for the application of the teleconference to medical institutions under the COVID-19 pandemic. So here I would like to introduce briefly about the Việt Đức Hospital. So the Việt Đức University Hospital is one of the largest surgical centers in Vietnam, with more than 1,015 years of history and establishment and development. And the hospital have nearly 2,300 employees, more than 400 surgeons. We perform more than 17,000 surgeries in the 1 year. And we have plans for the 1,500 beds, 23 clinical departments, and we have more. We have 52 operating room, and we cooperate with the Hanoi Medical University to perform the following tasks. One is the healthcare service, training and the education, scientific and research, human resource management, so, direction of health activity and training, medicine prevention and response to disaster in health, international cooperation, and the final is the hospital management. So our IT department, when we receive information that the video conference is required, so we will set up the system installations in the venues or the meeting room, and we set up and the testing for audio, video, and network transmission system at the announcement locations. We support and training the doctor or nursing who need to use the software such as the Zoom, Webex, or the TrueCalls. And during the course of the conference and seminars, we will provide on-site support for important positions. The following is the timetable of the regular event at the hospital during the COVID-19 pandemic. So we have the live surgeries 2 times per year. The competitions are for the nursing competition or the skill improvement competition will be held once a year. The virtual conference will be held once a year. The meeting of the hospital leadership or reporting on the operation of the department will take place. Depend on the it will take daily. So, and the last one is the hospital meeting with the Ministry of Health usually take place at the beginning of the week, at the weekend, depending on the actual situations. Here are in these pictures, you can see we have 2 systems for the teleconference in the meeting room. The first one, we have the Polycom system for the internal hospital connection, or the connection to the satellite hospital in the same system. And 2 system is the we use a mini PCs like Linux for that connect to the dedicated cam and the wireless mic and speaker system. This one we usually use for Zoom or Team or the video. And in the operating rooms for the live demonstration, we have a trolley system using Cisco SX20 to move between operating room. And here, this is a photo of the telemedicine conference between the hospital and the satellite hospital. And this one, when we have, under the COVID-19 pandemic, we have a chance to come to the Ho Chi Minh City, and we have the COVID-19 admission and treatment center in there, and we need to report the daily operation of this center to our hospital. The difficulty that we often encounter in the process, firstly, then when we have a new device, how do we have trouble using them, how to control this system, how to connect to our hospital system. Secondly, that we have the network system in different locations will be different. So there are places where no network, we have to use mobile phone to attend with the 4G network. Some places where the Wi-Fi signal is not strong enough, we use maybe we will tell the participant to use the 4G in the mobile phone. Thirdly, sometimes the doctor and the nurses do not know how to use the software to share presentation or video. And during the COVID-19 periods, not every area we can go to support the connectivity. So, some applications they have never used before, such as the Webex or TrueCalls. So we need to how to training or to teach them how to use. Yeah. Fourthly, we have there are specialist equipment such as the endoscope and the navigator machines. Sometimes we don't have enough equipment or ports to connect the device to the system, to the Polycom or the Cisco system. Finally, we adjust the sound confident attendant who have problems such as the echo, noise, or the music microphone, so they cannot unmute. So, yeah, thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Thai.
Yeah.
Any comment or question from Mr. Thai from YouTube officer?
May I have a question, Tai-san?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Tai-san.
Yes, very good presentation.
Thank you.
My question is regarding the live demonstration, but you have 2 times in a week, in a year, to transmit the live demonstration to. Is that only to satellite hospital, or is there any other hospital to transmit?
We have live surgery for the Asian, for the with the China, and sometimes we have the big group like Korea and Japan. I don't remember the name of the hospital in the Japan, but it's on the Tokyo, and the India, and maybe in the I don't remember this Singapore. Yeah.
Okay, very lot of experience you have.
Yeah.
Is that for 3 or 5 years experience, or just a few years experience?
I'm sorry.
So you how long you have experience for live demonstration?
We have 4 rooms.
No. How many years?
How many years?
Yeah.
Every year we have the teleconference with inside the Asian.
Since when? Since 2015 or since
2018.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any question?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So in this slide, you mentioned about the telemedicine every day. But what kind of is this the D2D telemedicine or D2P telemedicine?
We have the telemedicine to the satellite hospital.
To the satellite hospital.
Yes, every day, and we have some telemedicine with some university that we cooperate for the student study with the nursing about the nursing and about the doctor.
Okay, so is there any all departments use this telemedicine activity, or is there any specific department?
We have the two rooms for the telemedicine. One in the venues of our hospital. We have the 2 systems Cisco in there, so we have 2 rooms for the telemedicine.
Okay, so the participants is what kind of department, medical department, like surgery or endoscopy or all department, all the medical department use this telemedicine?
No, only the surgery department.
Surgery. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, is there any more questions before we proceed to the last speaker?
Thank you, Mr. Thai.
Okay, I think
you.
there's no more questions. Call on the next or our last speaker, Mr. Pam Ngoc Dao from the University Medical Center. Mr. Dao, are you ready?
Yes, I am ready.
Okay, you may share your slides.
Oh, the first, I'm sorry because all my family members have been infected with COVID-19, and I was busy taking care of them, and spending late and not very well. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, you may proceed.
Yes, I can hear you very clear.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Hello, Santa-san, Kuriko-san, Yoshiko-san, and everyone. And let me introduce myself. My name is Dao, and I'm an engineer and working in Ho Chi Minh City University Medical Center. And I am very happy to be able to participate in this wonderful program. And I've been following the recent and really learned a lot of from everyone. Thank you so much, Temdesk, for training and share knowledge about telemedicine so I can support for my hospital. Today, allow me to listen on telemedicine activity as my hospital. My reason has 4 parts. The first, I will introduce my hospital. And the second, I will talking about telemedicine activity in my hospital. The third, I will share my some experience, and finally, we will discuss question and answer. Okay, my hospital is UMC. UMC is a pioneer in university hospital modern in Vietnam. And today, UMC is one of the leading teaching hospitals across Vietnam and among the top medical centers with the highest patient loss nationwide, ranking number 1 in the annual audit for 83 quality indicators. And my hospitals have 4 campus, no, 3 campus. And the first campus is General Hospital, and I'm working here. The first campus is General Hospital, and we have 910 beds and 20 operating rooms. The second campus, we have 6 city beds and 4 operating rooms, and the third campus is a traditional medicine hospital. We have 30 beds in this campus. And so every year we have 2 million of patients, 84,131 and inpatient. And operate 5,828 outpatient and 200 inpatient, and 80 surgeries per day. And so now we will go to the part two, talking about telemedicine activity by Hardio. We have four main parts in working telemedicine conference. The first is online meeting, and the second webinar. The third we event venues is CME and remote diagnostics. And 2020 and 2021 COVID-19 pandemic periods, we had our meeting in my hospital moved to online. Briefings up to nearly 1,000 people, and we opened meeting with the Ministry of Health every week. And we have including meeting with partner, savings MOU ceremony, and because my hospital is a hospital affiliated to a University of Medicine and Pharmacy, the training is very regular and continuous. Training is indispensable, so we have moved to online form. The training subjects are doctor and not across the country. Through online, we can also control the extended time of students. Students must pass pre-test, post-test, and receive CME. Here is just the number of the conference and seminar webinar held from the 2019 and 2021. In the 2019, we have 10 webinars, 8 CME, but by the time of the pandemic, the number has changed a lot, especially in 2020 and 2020, there are 22 webinars and 76 CME. In the 2021, we have 12 webinars and 142 CME for each entity. And there are many lecturers who are professors from many countries, such as the US, UK, and Australia, Taiwan, China, and Japan, and Singapore. As you can see, the number of the people suddenly increased. People had to change the habit of spending offline to online. And doctor as my hospital also participate consultant to support lower level hospital during the COVID-19 period. The hospital has more than 5,000 team of health, and we have training for all the staff and how to use. As you see, this is the CME. We have venue CME, many CME in the year. Can you see the professor from Australia and India and many countries have invited to the CME. There are okay. So now I will sharing some experience about telemedicine in my hospital. The first, we have some error in the online meeting. Problem about the sound, the image, and the sharing. But we have troubleshoot this. Now it's okay. And we have training to limit error in online meeting. If you have if you have a meeting of 5 to 10 people, everything is very easy. But if you have a meeting of nearly 1,000 people, it's very difficult to control the show, emails, and sharing to show limit error. We online training. We have training extended skill for everyone, and we test before the meeting, set the sound, set the bandwidth for quality email quality, and everything. And in webinar and CME, we have backup plan for problem from extended to cannot sharing the content, and the content cannot show in the CME. You can see this is I am when a remote site has to troubleshoot sharing a string, we give advice in how to share and the network. We use our pickup slide and share from our slide. We have collect presentation materials in Advance, so have a pickup plan. I will show with everyone. This is we require presenter send to me the presentation has recording before the meeting. It's this.
Hello, everybody, and good afternoon. It's our pleasure. My name is Dr. Kathleen Finlayson, and I have Professor Helen Edwards with me today from Queensland University of Technology in Queensland, Australia. We're very honoured to be invited to talk at your.
This is the recent presentation.
Hi, this is Zhang Yiwen from Taipei Veterans General Hospital.
And when we have problem from bandwidth and from connection, we will share and this content for presenter. And as you see, my screen, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 content, and but my hospital not enough equipment, and we have used the OBS. Do you know the OBS? I will everyone in this meeting have know the OBS, and via OBS we have include many content to the sharing to the one content sharing. This is my technical in my hospital and repairing in the before the meeting and in the during the meeting. Okay, thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Dao. So is there any comments or question for Mr. Dao?
Can I have a question?
Yes, please.
Yes.
You're on mute, Mr. Tai.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You were talking about the CME, so I wonder what is the CME?
The CME?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, you can speak again.
Okay, so you talked about the webinar and the CME, so I wonder what is the CME?
CME?
Mm-hmm.
CME in the okay. I mean, CME is continuing medical education, and yes, online training for the attendee have can be the receive certificate after the CME training.
So how many staff do you need to control the one CME?
Yeah, I often three people, three technical for the CME with 1,000 participants. And yes, and we meet in the house, and we promote to the people additional for the co-host for the manage the CME and online training. That's 3 people.
Okay, thank you.
May I have a question?
Yes.
Yes, Minsan.
Yes. So I know this is very hard time for Ho Chi Minh City during COVID-19 pandemic. So you didn't mention about your extra work concerning COVID-19 pandemic. So is it? Could you please share your work, or you just do the regular work? I mean,
yes.
Concerning COVID pandemic, do you have extra work to support the medical activity?
Yes, thank you for your question. In my hospitals, in the pandemic COVID-19, we have a support for the technical in the for the doctor to coordinate with the patient and remote treatment, and via the Zoom, via the SAKURA web page, and sometimes we have to use the yellow fiber, and and in the pandemic periods, we have to connect to the my habito to to another habito for diagnosis with low levels habito.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And one more thing, good luck to your family.
Yes, thank you, Vincent.
Okay, is there any more questions? Okay, I think that's all for the institutional update, the second part. Again, thank you to all our speakers, and I hope everyone is safe from COVID. Mr. Tin, do you want to say something?
Okay, Alvin. So may I have the closing comment? So,
Okay, okay.
but maybe there are several the housekeeping information. So first, I'd like to conclude the today's session. Thank you very much for everyone. From yesterday to today, we had the institutional update, and I think it's very fruitful to share the knowledge and got the situation in other countries, in other institutions. And the next time, we will have a group discussion regarding the difficulties and discuss the solution. Let me see. Now I'm considering to use the online whiteboard system, but still, our TEMDEC will discuss the topic and also how to discuss that. Anyway, I think it's very good information for you, but there are no homework for these 2 weeks. So just wait for Yoshiko's information regarding the connecting information like Zoom URL. And that's all from my side, but maybe Kudo-san, you have any announcement for ATS?
ATS?
Yes.
Yes. Let me prepare now.
If possible, please. And another topic, but in this time, we are using the HD mode of Zoom. So later, I'd like to ask your opinion regarding the quality. But Kudo-san, thank you.
So now we and Satya, AIG, organizer of coming ATS, is now preparing the final preparation for the having this symposium. And this time, November 26 and 27, Friday and Saturday will be held. Then the homepage is now open. There is also a link to this homepage from TEMDEC homepage. And we are now preparing for the announcement by email coming end of this week. And you can check the program. And I can see some of you, your name in here as moderators and the presenters. And registration is here. So through the Google form, please register. and the system will be Zoom for communication and also YouTube for receiving the image and the audio. So speaker will be getting the Zoom access information from the conference officer. So that's all for my introduction of coming ATS.
Thank you very much. And Yoshiko put the registration URL to the chat box. So please check. And I'm happy if all of you could join this very interesting event. Okay, so Hokabe-san.
Yeah, as Shunta mentioned before, we I think some of you may already know or have used it, but we recently applied the group HD video feature of Zoom, and then our Zoom accounts are now available with HD and then full HD camera quality, not screen sharing. So then today's meeting is also being held in HD quality. But in order to receive and send in HD, there are some requirements like a bandwidth and then setting, the detailed setting. Though the bandwidth is downscale, the resolution up to the limit of user bandwidth. But I'm very curious if there is any differences between normal Zoom meeting and then this HD quality meeting for users. So if you find any differences or any difficulty for reception in this 2 days meeting, please kindly share your comment and feedback to us. And then is there anyone who can receive in HD this time? Maybe if you watch in gallery view, you cannot receive in HD, but if you watch speaker view, if you change to speaker view mode, you can receive the, you may be able to receive the HD quality. If you haven't tried, please try to change your setting. And then especially for the user in how to say a limited bandwidth area, please tell me, let us know if you have any difficulty for reception, any too much heavy loads on your computer.
Yeah, I think through these 2 days, I watched all of you, the camera view of each participant, but I think it's higher resolution than usual. But unfortunately, due to the lack of light, Yoshiko's view is quite not sluggish, but the I mean the resolution itself is okay, but the camera quality is also important, I think. So how about my speaker view? Is that good for you? Or does it take a lot of bandwidth?
How about Promoto? So for example, Promoto-san from Nepal.
Yes, it's good.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Is there any differences compared to the normal meeting?
I cannot.
Not so much. Okay. Yeah, it's scalable quality. So someone in wide bandwidth and then with great computer can receive in maybe full HD quality, but there's someone connecting from office, the home or 4G network might not cannot feel any differences. But any other? Thank you.
Yes,
Abi-san.
actually, I'm receiving HD.
Okay.
I can see from the statistics that my receiving video quality is 1920-1080.
Good to hear.
And my bandwidth is consuming at about 5 Mbps.
You are connecting from your office, right?
Yeah. Okay. From my place.
Thank you very much. Okay, so yeah yeah, so there is not much more load the compared to the normal meeting, right? If someone has any difficulty, please let us know via email or via chat. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. So before we close the meeting, I'd like to have a second photo session. So would you turn on your camera for everyone? Okay. So Hokabe-san, again, may I ask you to take the picture?
Please wait.
Okay.
So
Okay.
please open your camera if you're connected. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, smile. Again. One more. 3, 2, 1, smile. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. So see you 2 weeks later. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you for your
And
time. Very long time.
please stay healthy and take care of yourself too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.